We appear to be live. Fantastic. Here's an odd question for you. How many of you out there are incredibly impatient, just like me? Like super impatient. And I know it's more than a few of you, since I know I'm not the only one who went out of his way to get, for example, the, the carrot from Zul'Farrak. Right? Well, the other reason I mention this, though, is I used to play a paladin. And I used to hate going into Ungoro. Because going into Goro was a long trip just way out of the way. Basically, you had to be like, all the way down here. And then all the way back. So I usually took a slightly more direct route. But that was on my paladin, who has this thing called Invuln. So let's see if we can take the direct route without being a paladin. Whoa! Oh crap, oh crap! No, too much, no! Dude. Okay. Okay, we lived. I don't have any food. Just gonna stand here. Patiently. No, crap! Okay, we're okay. We're okay. Oh yeah, we've got a new transmog, by the way. We finally have a transmog. Behold! Yeah, it doesn't actually look that good on Pandorans. You can literally see their eyes under the bandana there. Yes, I am a Pandaran without food. Do I have a heal? Oh, I do. Burn. Burn in righteous healing fire. Okay, we're fine. Down we go. Do. I would have laughed if I died at that last jump. So we did it! We did it without being a paladin, or a mage, or a priest. Welcome to Ungoro Crater. This is one of the old endgame zones alongside Western Plague Lands, and that's basically it. This is technically alongside Felwood as well. Ricky, we have found them. We've known they're there for years. They're not new. I've answered that question like 5 times today alone. So, that's a good point. So someone mentioned something earlier. So yeah, the vote appears to be extremely one-sided. I think we're going to go ahead and just close that off. I think you guys want me to read the book. So that is what I will do. I admittedly have simultaneously fond and hateful memories of Ungoro. The quests here were okay. The ambiance was great. And, there was always that hint of a greater story here, which didn't actually follow through until all the way as recently as Wrath. But, I didn't like it because several of the quests were incredibly grindy. And I have really, really bad memories of farming Guardian Stones. How many of you remember Guardian Stones? I gotta be honest, I don't even remember what they were used for anymore. I don't remember specifically what they were crafting, I know that, but I don't remember what I was gathering them for. But I used to spend forever here just farming them endlessly. God. It was horrible. Excuse me. Oh god, gorilla pelts. Oh god. So anyways, this is the new Marshal's stand. We used to be up here. See, what originally happened in Vanilla Ungoro was... Well, let's actually rewind just a little bit. There's this event called the War of the Shifting Sands, which doesn't fully make sense, geographically speaking. Here's how it worked. The Silithids came out of Silithus and swarmed over everything and just beat the living crap out of everyone and then stopped and couldn't actually go into Ungoro. The Silithid were actually prevented from entering Ungoro. I find that very curious, considering nothing else has been prevented from entering Ungoro. But anyways, and yet then they attacked Tanarus. So somehow they bypassed Ungoro to attack Tanarus. I mean, that's possible. It's just kind of a weird layout when you think about the logistics of attacking Tanarus while completely avoiding Ungoro. But anyways, whoops. But back in vanilla, there was Ungoro was one of those places that was basically left alone by most of the everyone. And so a expedition was sent out here in order to try and figure out what's what. And they got here, and they got completely overwhelmed. This place was a vicious, brutal bloodbath for them. Basically, the completely unprepared, oh my god, dinosaurs! Just Jurassic Park kind of a situation, basically. It wasn't just dinosaurs, but, they were way overwhelmed, and they had to flee to higher ground to try and escape them. That's why they were up here at the refuge. Since then, obviously, things have changed. And now we are a little bit more established, and there's a little more support down here. But again, as of this point, the Alliance and the Horde dichotomy has officially gone away. So, let's go ahead and talk to Mr. Marshall here. Willadin Marshall, along with Hullany Marshall.
Good day to you.
Hey, Hullany, look at the getup on this one. Willadin turns to face you. Ahem. A recruiter sent you? Good. Let's start with a bit of honesty. Ungoro isn't the perfect nirvana that you may have promised. You've probably figured that out on the way over here, though. Shall we get to work?
See you later.
Yes, this is one of the two Titan laboratories that we know of. The other one being Sholazar Basin. Hey, Roscoe. Same design, too. Big old basin, pylons protecting it from outside forces, and disrupted by something that happens when we get here. There's Sholazar for comparison. Level 53, by the way, Permeus. Getting close. So, I don't understand your statement, Zawon Joker. Like, your statement is very conflicting to me. Oh, you're talking about why the Silithid were pushed out when nothing else was. Got it. I thought you were talking about why the Silithid were able to attack Tanarus without Ungoro, which is just conflicting. But anyways, let's get some quests.
Hello.
Welcome. I'm Willadin Marshall, and my sister and I run this expedition of explorers and scientists. You have a moment? I don't like the look of those elementals on that volcano. We have too much equipment, too many notes. One crazed elemental could streak its way through our camp and do terrible, terrible damage. Show them that the new neighbors aren't to be trifled with. And bring back the ash they leave behind. We might as well do a little science while we're at it.
Safe travels.
Yes, there used to be an entire quest chain that was basically just Nintendo references the quest chain. In fact, I still have the Master Sword on my undead, on my main.
What's up?
I created the thermometer to take readings of the temperature at the volcano. And I'd like to find the hottest lava flows. It gives measurements in degrees of crackling height. Here, take it. And take readings of the temperatures at the ridge whenever you see a hot spot. They usually take the form of glowing rocky pillars jutting out of the ground.
Keep it real.
Okay, I can do that. What else we got here? Is there a quest in here? Can't even tell. I'm gonna assume no. Yeah, I had the boomerang for a long time, too.
Interesting.
I'm sure you've noticed, Iron Men. They're everywhere. What am I talking about? Why, the crystals, of course. The crystals. They're all over the crater. Most people ignore them, but I have a strange feeling they hold power within them. Say, I'm running a little low on crystals I have here. I think you might be able to collect some more for me. You'll find some yellow crystals to the northwest. Red crystals... Oh, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Be seeing you.
Hello, Mikes. Welcome back.
Ungoro, Silithus, Fellwood, Winterspring, yeah.
Pleased to meet you.
I don't believe we've met. I'm Nolan Tacker, Marshall Expedition's new Chief of the Guard. I also happen to be their chef. There's actually more overlap than you'd think. I got a fun little task for you. You seen the spike pit around the perimeter of the camp? See if you can convince one of the nearby dinosaurs to walk into it. You throw this rotten meat at them when they're not looking. It'll make them hungry or angry. Either way is fine as long as they follow you to the pit.
You have a great day now.
Hey, the Sonorian Circle's here.
Greetings, man.
Zenalari been studying the way of the druid, Pandaran. Hopefully one day Zenalari joined the druids of the Talon and served the creature as a stormcrow. But for now my mentor says I wait here, and so I wait. I know another druid who might be able to help you. His name is Gar Stormclaw, somewhere to the east of here, studying reagents. Maybe you go talk to him.
Be seeing ya.
Now, Felwood isn't quite a desert. It's worse than a desert. Come here, dinosaur. Come here, dinosaur. Move faster, dinosaur. Ugh. I like how it just basically stumbles into the spike and dies, even though the spike was aimed the wrong way. I actually really like what they've done with Felwood, especially given, let's just say that it really reminds me of, well, it's one of the few zones, I shouldn't say that like that, but it's a zone in which I have a great deal of sympathy for a Forsaken character. Of course I remember that, 01 Joker. How could I ever forget that nightmare? God damn it. How could I ever forget the nightmare of the reagent days? Come on. Come on. God. Hey, I mained a paladin in several raids in vanilla. You don't gotta remind me. 12 years ago now, I want to say. 11 years, something like that. It's been a while. Oh, gosh darn it. They're being obstinate, guys. I heard one person joke that my desired idea for a pure support through a pure support class was all I need to do is go back to vanilla and play a paladin. You mean the random drop things, Ignis? It's gonna lead to over-farming. As long as it doesn't affect the overworld, I'm okay with it, though. We'll see. Okay. So as you can see, this is yet another of the variety of jungles we'll be going through, or should I say forests. Much, much thicker, wild, untamed jungle kind of a situation. Henrik, I raised my eyebrow at you. Favorite non-truck sci-fi show? Top Gear! Oh, that's terrible, Henrik. That's just, yeah.
Ain't you a chipper-looking one?
Zenalai was wise to send you here. I've hit a dead end in my studies.
That's enough gabbing for me today.
Right outside this camp there are raptors with deadly claws. I've been using the claws for druid rituals, but it doesn't seem to be working. However, I did notice some of those raptors sometimes have white claws, when most have deathly black. The earth works in strange ways. Maybe you could fetch some of the white claws and I'll try one last time.
Long live Greymane.
Greetings, traveler.
Once, a long time ago, a brother of mine took some meat from one of Larcowl's kills. He didn't know it at the time, but Larcowl saw him from the forest. Carl followed my brother for days, destroying everything he touched. My brother, scared, finally decided to run from the crater and leave Larcowl behind. Larcowl killed him not far from this spot. If you want to provoke him, find a fresh kill of his and take some of the meat. Start your search to the west.
We shall meet again.
I've actually have talked about the crafting system several times. It boils down to this. Crafting should either be more cosmetic or more useful gear. Oh, I'm not doing those quests. One of the two. And I'm really not sure which direction to take it in. Both is actually also an option, admittedly. But the idea here is, first of all, get rid of the, say Pandaria's system. Remove garrisons from the equation for for crafting purposes. And then remove the daily requirement on crafting the items. Keep the limitation on how many you can equip at a time, so you have to pick and choose exactly which crafted items you have, and keep the upgrade system, so you can burn powerful mats in order to upgrade them significantly. Start the item level off at, let's say, Heroic Dungeon. Maybe a little bit higher. And then make the next upgrade at LFR, and then upgrade at Heroic, and then upgrade Mythic level, just to keep it into that direction. That's how I would probably shift crafting, given the choice on the matter. And of course, more cosmetic stuff, more fun stuff, more toys, more transmogs, you know, that kind of a thing. Make more just silly, fun, random stuff from it. And also more like random buff stuff. Like, and I know I've pointed this out several times, the tents you can make with leatherworking back in Warlords. There are a lot of other players out right now. Well, I give up. I quit WoW forever. Why don't we head to do those quests? I was a weapon. Yeah, I was a weaponsmith. I had to think about that. I know, Mind Blast. I might have changed that.
Can I help you?
Excellent work, Iron Man. Now we're a bit safer, and I've got all this fresh meat to serve my men.
Off and away.
Ding! Level 54. Oh my god, we got a new ability. Which is great, because I can finally take this thing off the bar and put it over here. No, here, where it belongs. Where the heck is it? Oh, hey, we have when did we get Spinning Crane Kick? Damn it. There we go. And
Talk to me. Spirits be with ya, man.
I guess that's really it. There's not really much else I'd do with crafting. The thing about the garrisons is your classic problem when it comes to any given MMO. If you make something useful, and you make it too useful, it basically will supplant other sources for people. So a lot of people would never leave their garrison to craft, because they didn't have to. They could get whatever materials they needed just by sitting there, you know? So, yeah. It's level 10-ish. Wow, Permeus. That was a little higher than that. Navigating the Ungurum volcano. Or wait, did it move? Oh crap, it moved. It used to be right here. Huh. Okay. Hey look, rich thorium. That's another reason I used to spend some time in here. Thorium. God, I spent a lot of my life getting thorium. I am so glad I don't do that anymore. But yeah, in my opinion, right now, the problem with crafting, other than the garrison situation, obviously, is that, crafting is not worth it, basically. I get that they're trying to balance it so that it's not super useful, and it is useful for several things, but it's a little bit too useless for certain other uses, and I'm... there we go. Having issues here. Ow, there we go. Yeah, getting a hold of mithril was always an issue for me, but not as much as getting a hold of iron. And gold. I believe it was engineering I was leveling with gold, and it sucked. It should be up here. Where the hell is it? Oh well. It's okay, it's okay. I'm just swimming in lava, guys. It's good, it's good. Ugh. That hurt a little bit. There was too much tin for me. I was swimming in tin. I actually needed to go back and farm copper to get bronze. Gnomish, I'm pretty sure is the one. Pretty sure. Oh god, enchanting rods. Remember when you had to make a bronze rod? And then like a tin rod, and an iron rod, and a thorium rod, and a fel iron rod, and adamantite rod? Yes, I do, Leaf Feet. In fact, in all honesty, I wish I had the option, emphasis, of playing with less interaction from other players. Go ahead, Zoan. Get it out of your system. I know you're gonna. You know, I still don't have any food on my character. Oh god. Has anyone raised engineering in vanilla? Why did I do that? God, it was nightmarish. I remember getting to, I want to say like 294? It was literally like 5 or 6 points from the max. And, and just sitting there at, you know, a minuscule amount of points away. And I had like 2 options. Something that was insanely stupid expensive to craft. Or something that was like a green item. So I would have to craft a ridiculous amount of it to actually get those final few points up there. Oh, those final few points in engineering drove me insane. I think I actually spent over a month at, you know, at that close to the end. Just right there. I haven't seen the new tier sets, personally, no. Hunter is always the worst tier set. Are you kidding me? That's been true since vanilla. That's old. That's common. There's never been a truly amazing Hunter set. Alright, they did move this damn thing. Someone tell Magister to hit refresh. I liked tier 5, except for the helmet. If tier 5 had a better helmet, I would have been okay with it. There we go. Okay. God. Okay. I've liked several druid sets. Not all of them, just some of them. Okay. BC had some good stuff. Not my favorite, but definitely some really good stuff, IMO. I also like some of the recolorizations of the vanilla stuff that was in BC.
What can I do for you?
Do you think the volcano is active? I wonder why it didn't explode when the Cataclysm hit. Hope that did the trick. I'll take the ash. This may come in handy somewhere down the line. I'm still a bit concerned about the fire elementals. One last request. Head to the top of the ridge and kill the one they call Blaze Runner. Oh, no need to do a 5,000 long quest in order to do it. Just...
Hey there. Have a good one.
Right.
Talk to me.
Anyways, these results are astounding. My boss will be pleased. Thank you, Pandaren. My good friend Spraggle's been fretting about something for a while now. I'd help her, but as you can see, I'm pretty comfortable right now. Do check and see what she needs.
Hurry back.
Sure. Ah, that's why. Okay, I can make that work. I'd talk a bit about the vanilla quests here, but once again we find one of those no lore situations. What was the story of Unguro Crater in vanilla? There were Silithids and dinosaurs. And a Nintendo line of quests, which they flat out got rid of, which I find interesting. Or I can't talk to them. Okay, sure, whatever. Whatever. One of the things I found myself wondering, I actually talked about this back in Northrend too. I'm really curious if underneath all of this rock and trees and plants, if we dug down deep enough, we'd see massive Titan facilities and machinery, just like we did in Sholazar. Because I love that idea. I love that idea that this incredibly natural-looking terrain is actually sitting on top of literal machinery, you know? Well, the only endgame zones that were developed over here were Unguro and Winterspring, really. Arguably Fellwood as well. Fellwood in vanilla was... Winterspring was terrible. Back in vanilla. And Unguro was... it was pretty okay. It was probably the best of the three, I'd say. Nowhere near in quality to the Plaguelands, though. Both West and East Plaguelands were amazing. Even back in the day. Well, 4 back in the day, I should really clarify. He's not... Yeah.
You need something? See you around.
Hello.
If you're here to help, maybe you can help us with a lurking threat. To the south... Whoa! Damn it! To the south lies the slithering Scar, a quivering Silithid outpost in the middle of the jungle. You can't miss it. One of my scouts report that the Silithid are harboring a young colossus in their central underground chamber, and once fully grown, they plan to unleash it on Ungoro. This must not come to pass.
Safe travels.
Yeah, sure, whatever. God damn it, why are... why did they kill the one quest NPC? Oh, whatever, I'll go get this one instead. So, how did the Brotherhood of Light survive, Zoan?
Hey, how you doing?
Enlighten me. Hey, bub. Interested in making a little extra dime? I've got a good authority that some interested party are paying big money for Silithid legs. Yeah, you heard me right, Silithid legs. Apparently the things are delicious if you cook them right. There's like underground lobsters, and they're just south of here. Thing is, I need a good amount of them to pay for overhead. Think you get me 8 dozen or so?
Be good.
8 dozen Silithid legs. Ew. Seriously. Ew. So you may or may not find this funny. You see this? This is my belt. Now, hands up if you recognize this belt. I'll just skip forward. This is the belt I started the game with. This is the belt I literally had on when I made this character. We haven't changed it since then. So I did a couple of quests off camera, and we have a new belt. Check it out, with actual stats on it and everything. Then did another quest, and hey, they gave me another belt with even better stats. Whoa! Check it out. So now we actually have stats on our belt, finally. Ah, yes, I am truly the most skilled monk in the universe. Still don't have another ring. Still have really low level boots. I have white gauntlets with no stats on them. I feel like a broken record here, but can you tell me what the story was of Vanilla Winter Spring? Or stories, or plots, or anything, really. That's a good point. I've got this staff as my gauntlets. Excellent. So this is what I was talking about the other day. Ooze-covered thorium. You see that? It's really gross, but it was an excellent source of thorium. I used to get so much thorium out of Silithus, it was crazy. So where are they, Zoan? What have they been doing? How are they interacting with anyone? Why are they still relevant? Damn it. Damn it! Ah. Freaking Blood Elf is gonna beat me to the boss. No. He knows it too. We could group. No. No. Okay. No grouping. There was the quest with the blue flight. It was actually one of the cooler quests back in Vanilla. You know, it looks like I can still tag that guy. I'm gonna go and try that. Yay, it worked. Shared credit. Holy crap. Cataclysm. You know, I like WoW's music, in response to an earlier question that I just realized I never answered out loud. Yes, I do like WoW's music. But there's a couple songs I actively don't like, and all of them are basically the Silithus songs. Like the one that's playing right now. The random wailing of... You know, that thing. I don't like that song particularly much. That is true, Ricky. I can't deny that. Why does he want 8 dozen legs? Is that how lobsters are purchased as well? By the dozen? I mean, I actually don't know. Oh, the Storm Peaks music is just destructive to my soul. It's so good. Heirloom bags? I actually like that idea. Even if there's only like one heirloom bag, it's as long as it's big enough, I'm okay with that. I would probably go out of my way to get that. I did not get anything, Zoo1. Looks like you've hit the text limit. Because, yeah, I didn't get anything. One thing I do find interesting is that the Silithid are here now, even though they shouldn't be. There is a little bit of theory crafting that can be done on this. The idea is like this. These Silithid are not under the control of the old gods. That's speculation, by the way. We don't actually know, as usual. Ah, right. They're in the instance. I remember. Hello, War Wager. Well, I'd like to say we're going to finish East Kalimdor today, but we're not. We're getting kind of close, though. So, the fact that the Silithid forces were pushed back by the barriers around this place back in the War of the Shifting Sands most likely indicates that it was them pushing back the old god influences, right? But the thing is, if that's true, how are the Silithid here now? Now, there's several ways to logic this out. It could be that the power barriers literally only keep out specifically old god-influenced things. So that's a possibility. Ergo, again, back to my earlier theory that these Silithid who are here are not actually under the old god's influence. They are just, you know, feral Silithid. Another option is the fact that the old god's protection the Titan's protection has simply waned, and they don't have the ability to keep out as well as they used to. Another possibility is that the Silithid have simply overwhelmed this area, although, admittedly, I find that kind of unlikely, because the War of the Shifting Sands was incredibly devastating. It was swarms upon swarms upon swarms of Silithid. Literally millions of them spilling out over the rest of the world. It's one of the reasons why, even when they finally got the dragons to unite against them, they were still losing. And that's why they had that desperation measure of sealing them all behind the Scarab wall. So I don't know. We got a couple of options why the Silithid are here, and they technically shouldn't be. Meh. Also, you know, another thing they could do with the heirloom bag idea? Make it so you can only have one, but just make it really big. So rather than having, you know, a mass, you know, 4 16 slaughters or 18 slaughters or whatever, or like have bags that scale to your level so it starts off like 5 slot, then 10 slot, then 20 slot or whatever. You can just have it be a, you know, a 40 slot bag. Bam! And you can only have the one on at a given point in time. Silithus. We'll actually talk about Silithus when we get there. And the tiny amount of lore significance in Gata. Maybe. Yawn. Maybe lower significance. We're not sure.
Time is money, friend.
We don't really know, Zuan. He and Marshal Stan, I can't really do much profiteering without arousing suspicions from the scientists. There is, however, another place I might have use for you. My business associate, Gremix, has a camp northwest of here on the opposite side of the volcano. He's a savvy businessman. He's got a better eye for profit than even I do. I'm sure he can put you to work, if you'd like to make some more coin.
Keep it real.
Hey, she finally respawned.
Well, spit it out.
You gotta help me. My friend Ringo left earlier to explore the volcano to the north of here. He's been gone for way too long. I'm really worried about him. You think you can find him? I'll take my canteen with you. If you find him, you'll need it.
Be careful out there.
I'll do it. I'll save the... You know, there's got to be something here that sets you universally PvP, because these are not alliance mobs. These are not horde mobs. Which means someone is going out of the way to get a specific flag so they can attack these quest NPCs for literally no other reason than to troll. I like that one War Rager. Living or dead, you will serve me. My god, it's his sack! Maybe I should look for him. Maybe he's around here somewhere. Oh my god, there he is! Holy crap. Oh, it's so hot. I was exploring this area when all of a sudden the heat just became unbearable. I might actually have... heat exhaustion. Please help me get back to my friend, Spraggle. I think I'm well enough to follow you. So let's go ahead and... Oh god. Splash! How am I feeling? Quite soaked, thank you. We're literally splashing him with water in order to keep him going. Come on, Ringo. Let's do it. Oh god, if you could slap me on the cheek. Oh, where am I? Where am I? Oh god, oh god. Tossing the goblin into the volcano. Got it. Oh god. I'm so out of it, I'm actually trapped on a vertical plane. Oh, okay, I'm okay. Okay. Let's go, let's go. I'm gonna make it. Why am I so tired today? Oh. Other than 7-day work weeks. Come on. Come on. Oh, Spraggle. Didn't think I'd make it back. Ringo, you're okay.
Hey, how you doing? Keep it real.
Alright, we saved him, and now we need to see if the other players are still being a bother in the east. See, there's a couple quests here I'd really like to do. And, yeah, next Wednesday, Magister. And if I don't do them, then I am doing you a disservice. I could skip almost every quest in this zone, honestly. Very little of it is actually very lore relevant, even now. But there are 2 quest chains that are really things I want to show off. So, these other players need to get out of my game! Damn it! So, I was talking about how I would prefer it if this was a co-op RPG. Would you believe it would be actually really, really easy to implement that? I'm serious. All you need to do is add an option for layers. Per player, or per group, rather, I should say. Now, there is a huge, huge catch with that, and that would be the fact that it would add a tremendous amount of server load under the wrong circumstances. In fact, that would probably be abusable by certain players to deliberately add server load, which would suck. But it's something they could do very, very easily if they wanted to implement that kind of system. Not that I'm saying necessarily they should. I'd rather they do it properly. But if they don't have the time or the money to do it properly, I would take the instanced, or the layered, excuse me, option. Just make other players go... You know the funny part? This is hilarious, okay? I know for a fact the developers of WoW totally disagree with me. You know why I know that? Cross-realm zones. If I was just wandering around Kargath, or... No, I'm not on Kargath. Dalaran. Whatever server I'm on right now. I would be probably just completely by myself. Completely alone. Do you know that? I would be... I guarantee you, I would have very, very few contacts with other people. Blizzard didn't like that. They thought that it made the zones feel too empty, and they wanted to try and fix that. So they actually increased the amount of random players you'd interact with. Literally creating the problem I am so upset about. Well, I shouldn't say so upset, it's not that big of a deal, but seriously, creating the other player's problem on purpose. Because it used to be better, and now all of a sudden there's all these other players all over the place. Damn it! With the cross-realm things. Because now, when I'm in a zone, I'm seeing people from like 3 or 4 different servers. Or more. Possibly even 8, if we go to the extreme. So yeah, Blizzard clearly wants there to be more players roaming around and running into each other, and getting in the way of each other's questing. Because, again, the stated reasoning was they want the zones to feel less empty, more alive, more players, that kind of a thing. Seems like a weird goal to me, but I'm not one to judge, what can I say?
I've been expecting you.
Do not take my words lightly, Ironman. If you wish to face this creature, you must be careful and smart. It will take a great deal of strength and insight to draw out Lorcal and defeat him. This will do nicely, Ironman. It seems Lorcal eats well these days, though I wonder where I found a Threshodon in this area. Odd. Regardless, I will hold on to this until you are ready with your confrontation with the beast. Do not worry for my safety. I'm sure you've angered Lorcal enough that he will not kill me until after he's tasted your flesh. I'm actually surprised he has not come for you yet. But all is well. I have a final plan that will bring the monster to us. Being the dominant male gives Lorcal rights to breed with any female he chooses, and he chooses many of them. You'll find his eggs near here. Get close to them, and you should provoke an attack by his mates. The females produce an awful smell in the gland in their heads that allows the males to know they're ready to breed. Bring me some of those glands.
Walk with the earth, mother.
I do not know if that's a thing, Lufus. Anymore. I haven't seen one in a while.
Any friend of Greymane is a friend of mine.
Dang. The blood petals of Ungor have a fascinating life cycle. The trees in front of us bear seeds that fall down to the river. When they mature, the river's current takes them seed north of here, where the seed hatches, kind of like an egg. I require these seeds for my studies.
Good day.
Okay, I can do that. Now, in the midst of all of this, there is actually a very, very... I've actually been kind of leading the conversation in a direction. You don't have to get rid of the other players. You don't have to layer everything off. You don't have to do separate instances. You don't have to switch it to a co-RPG. You know what you have to do? Unlock tagging. Just all of it. Across the board. If I hit you, if I hit a thing, and another player hits a thing, we're both tagged to it, we both get credit for it, we both get loot from it. Bam! And thus is all of the problems of other players solved. All of them. All I have to do is actually get in there and tag something sufficiently quickly. That's it. Think about that. Like I said, it would actually be very easy to implement a solution to the other player's problem without even getting rid of the other players. There are some mobs it works that way with, yes. Some. Most of that is the new stuff. The new stuff either in Warlords or in Legion, for that matter. But yeah, exactly, Gnarlex. We just need to implement that system wide scale and bam, problem utterly solved. That's true, Octavian. We might actually enjoy the game, too. Oh, that would be terrible. As some people are well aware, the whole point of a game is to not enjoy it. So, I have to admit, that is probably the biggest detriment of my plan. We would have to actually start enjoying WoW. Sorry, guys. God, I feel weird. I have, like, no lore to share about this zone. I mean, I do. But it's, like... we're not there yet, you know? Let's just push through these quests as quickly as I can. This would be a great time if anybody has any questions or discussions they want to talk about, or any gameplay things they want to talk about, just anything. I encourage you, please, talk to me. I don't have anything to share right now. Not until we get to either of the two major quest chains we're working on. Okay, why King Crush is so awesome. Well, that's true, I never gave you an ogre name. We'll go with XAG apostrophe GUS. Zagus. So here's the lore reason why King Crush is awesome. He's a King Devilsaur, which is a fairly dangerous beast by itself. He's also the king of all the lizards, the Thunder King, if you will. But there's one flaw to his strategy. You see, King Crush is actually a gnome whose experiment went kind of... Well, I'd say wrong, but that's kind of inaccurate. It's more like the experiment went very, very right. And so... And now he lords it over everyone around him and constantly invents new machines in order to continue to empower himself.
What can I do for you?
Have you seen the seeds yet? Yes, these seeds will do nicely. You have the gratitude of the Cenarian Circle, Iron Man. If this Moon Warden is a Night Elf Druid who indoctrinated me into the Cenarian Circle, don't use that word. He has set up a camp north of here, near the cliffs in the easternmost edge. Follow the flow of the blood petal seeds, and I'll wager you'll find him nearby. My studies are limited to seeds and reagents, but he pursues more advanced matters. If you're curious to learn more about Unguro's flora, you should speak with him.
Let the light of the new moon guide you.
And I played both, by the way, I love this.
Peace, friend.
Be careful, Iron Man. Getting close to a nest of eggs will surely provoke the mothers, even if you've already secured a gland from one. The mothers can be just as deadly as Lorcal itself when it comes to protecting their young. But if you are successful, we shall have a definitive way to bring Lorcal out from hiding. Fine specimens. Blah, blah, blah. This will be the most difficult part because there is some complexity to the plan. Continue following the river to the north and look for a bend in the river. It was here I saw Lorcal last. You will know you're in the right area because all the bones from the massive creatures that once wandered nearby. Take the meat. When you recovered it, place it there, then rub this mixture on the meat. If both lures mingled together do not bring Lorcal to you, then I know nothing else that will. Because if there's one thing Lorcal looks more than meat,
Go in peace.
it's the ladies. Hey, look! It's a Stone Guardian. These are the things we used to farm. There's not many of them. They slowly respawn, and they have a very low drop rate, and I hate them. Unfortunately, yes, I did, War Wager. Hello, Mugwump. Okay, so you want real lore for King Crush? There isn't any. He's a Devilsaur. I can tell you about Devilsaurs, though, because this is actually interesting. They're the same race as raptors. They're just an advanced form of raptors. There's actually been some theorizing, although I believe we have zero evidence to this, that Devilsaurs are Titan-augmented raptors, basically. That they took regular raptors and was like, what would happen if we made them bigger and more deadly in every way? And thus we have the Devilsaurs. I keep calling them Devilsaurs instead of Tyrannosaurs because that's what they're freaking called. So, yeah. And then there's this thing called the Indominus Rex, and I don't know what he's up to. Did Garl send you? How are his studies coming? I find he can be a bit slow at times, but he's truly a force to be reckoned with when he takes the form of the bear. Now, we have pressing matters to attend to. We're already familiar with the first phase of the blood petal's life cycle, the waterborne seed. The next phase is not so docile. the pack juveniles. When blood petals hatch, they quickly form gangs and travel together, offsetting their weakness with overwhelming numbers. These packs of young lashers normally keep to themselves, but upset one of them and you upset them all. Okay. I can go kill them, horribly. Honestly, I could totally see Vol'jin being on a dinosaur. Legit. I could see that being a thing. Unless you're the Titans, war wager. Unless... Oh my god, guys, that's why the Titans had to leave Azeroth. They were pushed away by the dinosaurs. It makes so much sense. Why am I so tired today? Holy crap. Yeah, the Raptor Mount quest took a while to go through. I bothered, because, you know, collector of mounts and whatnot. But I did decide to never do it again. So if you're asking me to do it live on stream, the answer is no. I'm already on the verge of falling asleep over here. No, thank you. Hey, Azura. No, no, Darsh monster. Who killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Except I can't do it right. Damn it, I can't get her across. The booming enthusiasm. I am no Arnold Schwarzenegger, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Oh my god. No. Mages do not use shamanistic magic. Shamanistic magic is more about the source than the result. Mages specifically use arcane magic to bound things to their will, such as the elements, to use an example. Oh my god, seriously, Mind Blast. Ugh. Hello? What's this? You find what appears to be a crate of food left behind when the camp was abandoned. Yeah, sure. Ah, got you, Zawan. I was just looking at it like, I don't get it. I'm too stupid to get it, guys. Sorry. One thing I liked that they did in a couple of zones, Feralos and Unguro are both probably the most powerful examples, is they actually have a tree canopy up there. So there's whole sections of the zone where you literally do not see the sky. No, Magister. A dark shaman twists and corrupts and warps and subjugates an elemental. Normal shamans, as well as magi, can bind an elemental, but that's different. It's many, many layers less bad, basically. Or they can make a pact with them. There are mages who actually make a pact with elementals rather than binding them. So, and to be fair, there are also mages who do take the Dark Shaman route, so that's a thing too. You're victorious. Good, good. Perhaps the crater will be a bit safer for those who travel through it. Look how strangely the plant life reacts to the blood petals in the roiling gardens to the north. The trees are enveloped with more flowers and vines than usual. Large, sporous blossoms project themselves from the ground where they once did not. The land is speaking to us. The blood petals are destroying the balance. Then I will bring balance back by murdering things indiscriminately. Blah, 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 blah. Holy crap. So, long before there was the Fell Reaver of Hellfire Peninsula, oh god, or the Storm Giant of the Howling Fjord, there was the Devilsaur of Unguro. Be honest, how many of you had this guy sneak up on you and kill you at least once? Alright, Lofus, I want you to go to hnrblock.com. I said at least once, or at least I meant to say at least once. Tim's up. Nope. Can't do it, Zoan. Sorry. Jibba Jabba, maybe? I don't know. Now, usually my warning that he was sneaking up on me was the screen starting to shake and then something coming out, like, over the camera right about here. And then I died. Remember when there was an add-on to increase camera distance? Because back in vanilla, you could only actually have the camera out about as far as I have it out right now. This is rough, of course. There was an add-on to allow it to go out to, like, here. And then they actually made it in-game so you could go all the way back out here, which is nice. Yes, I know, Zoan, I was kidding. I got it. Until I finish with Ungura, or until I pass out on stream. One of the two, Dark Monster. The way you increase it is you go to System. Nope, sorry. Interface. And Camera. And max camera distance, and you just crank it up as much as you can. Ugh. Ugh. Oh my god. I am really tired all of a sudden. Holy crap. Okay. Wake up, wake up. I got this, I got this. I just need to do one more zone today. Technically 2 more zones, but honestly, Silithus we're not actually going to be questing in, because it's Silithus. There are 17 quests in Silithus. And none of them are different. I mean... yeah. Oh, excuse me, 19, my bad. Wrong direction, yeah. Okay, we did it. High up the cliffs above me, there's a large crystal pylon. Who placed it there, I cannot say, nor can I determine any reason it would be built in such a strange place. Maybe you can make more of it than I can. I personally don't care what it does, but so you needn't report back to me, but perhaps one of the scholars might be interested in what you discover. Yep. Oh, thanks, buddy. For warping me up here. Alright, what do we got here? Crystal pylon. What do we got here? Pylon seems to be transmitting data somewhere. See that blue thing there? Interesting. I'll have to keep note on all of that stuff. Alright, here's a question for you while I'm writing. Least favorite zone in vanilla, specifically. Yes, Fermius, that is true. There are also lengthy quests, in addition to the distance. Silithus. You can only choose one, yes.
What brings you here?
Do not let fear overpower you, Iron Man. Fear is the great betrayer. You must remain strong. The Earth Mother be praised. You have done it. Fair play to you, Iron Man. You have proven yourself a great hunter in your own right. Your spirit is strong, your bravery unmatched. Your strength has been fortified. I bow to your skills.
May the eternal
Thanks.
sun shine upon you.
I'm surprised by the variety I'm seeing here. I'm also surprised that no one's mentioned my least favorite zone in vanilla. Wow, War Wager. Let's see if our NPCs are alive when we get back, shall we? They're alive! Oh, thank God. Gordon's alive.
How are you?
Here. Oh, wow, it's some really old fool. Hey, hold on, hey, look at this. This Pandaren brought us the old rations. No, not from Marshall's Refuge, the old base camp. I don't want to look inside. I'll just give it to Nolan. He'll know what to do with it.
Safe travels.
How are you?
You've completed a remarkable task. Yeah. Congratulations.
Have a good one.
Hey,
You were right to bring this pylon to my attention. This is just the sort of thing I've been studying.
off and away.
Ding! Because I haven't gotten the crystals yet. Wow, that's what, 3 dings in Angoro so far? Seriously. So, my least favorite zone is Stranglethorn Vale from Vanilla. Do I need to elaborate? Alright. Go grind these things. Go up here. Then grind these. Then kill these for an hour. Then go kill these for like 50 minutes. Then go kill these for like 30 minutes. Then go kill these. Then go kill these. Then go kill these. I just did. I just elaborated. I goddamn hate that freaking zone. Everything there was either a kill lots of stuff, which was okay, or loot lots of stuff, which was not. And it was like, all the way up to the north. All the way back down to the south, and all the way to the north, and then all the way to the south, and then all the way to the north, and then all the way to the south. And then all the way to the north. And then all the way to the south. And then all the way to the north. And oh my god, I got so goddamn sick of traveling through that zone over and over and over. And just running the full length of it 700 million billion times on a 40 mount. The vanilla 40 mount. Yeah, no. STV can go screw itself. There were entire leveling paths where I went out of my way to arrange a different leveling strategy just to never go through that zone. God damn that zone. Oh yeah, that's another thing. When you start going that zone, you probably don't have a mount at all. Oh my god, it was just all the way south and all the way north. Okay. Favorite zone in terms of pure aesthetics? Are we limiting ourselves to vanilla? Or what? What's the restrictions here? Anyways. Now, if I'm going back and thinking back on it, STV was actually one of the better zones, which is hilarious. But
I will never forgive that place for how incredibly boring it was. In between. It was padding the zone. It was just padding the zone. And it was just... Quest, quest, quest. Quest, quest, quest. One for each... Okay, so vanilla. Favorite zone in terms of pure aesthetics in vanilla. Teldrassil. Favorite zone in terms of pure aesthetics in BC. I think I will go with the Netherstorm there. Best zone in terms of pure aesthetics in Wrath. Icecrown. Best zone in terms of pure aesthetics in Cata. That's actually a bit of a tough one, but I will actually give that to Vashir. Best zone in terms of pure aesthetics in Pandaria. Ooh, that's actually a really tough one. I think I'll end up giving that to the Green Forest, or the Jade Forest. Best zone in pure terms of pure aesthetics in Warlords, Frostfire Ridge, or Shadowmoon Valley equally. I actually have a really hard time picking between those two. They're really, really good zones, both of them. Even just aesthetically. Favorite zone in Legion. Oh, I can't tell you about that one. I'm going to get these damn crystals and be done with this quest, damn it. So I can advance the other, the quest I'm actually here to do. Ah! Where are all the crystals? There is ice cream involved, that's true. It is also worth noting, by the way, STV got better over the course of Vanilla and BC. Because, it started off, there was like no meaningful travel hubs there at all. And later on they added flight paths and a couple of other convenience features for traveling around to make it a little less of a massive hassle to move around in that damn zone. Worst zone aesthetically or worst zone overall in each expansion? Because you already heard mine for Vanilla. Freaking STV. I suppose if I was thinking about it, I could come up with even worse zones in Vanilla. To wit, the original Dustwalla Marsh. Or how about the original Silithus, which had 0 quests in it. And in addition to 0 quests, 0 itemization. Because the mobs there literally did not drop anything. Okay, least favorite aesthetically. Let's see. That's true, Rasker. You had one in Booty Bay and one in Darkshire.
Welcome. Safe travel.
What's up? Have a good one.
Okay, so least favorite zones, purely aesthetically speaking, in Vanilla. I'm going to go with Fellwood. Least favorite zone, purely aesthetically, in BC. Terrakar. In Wrath, Sholazar. In Cata, Twilight Highlands. In Pandaria, I don't really dislike any of the zones in Pandaria, so I guess I'll go with the Vale of the Golden Blossom Doom Death Dark place as my least favorite aesthetically. And in Warlords, I gotta think about that. Vale of the Eternal Blossoms, that's what I do. In Warlords, my least favorite aesthetically would probably be the Tanan Jungle. That feels like cheating, so I'll just say Nagrand. I don't actually like what they did with Nagrand that much. I like almost every zone in Warlords, except for Nagrand. It's ironic. Probably Gnarlex. Probably. Well, I kind of can't right now as the one Joker because... Oh, she respawned. I was going to say, because other players. Finally.
Good day to you.
I just know I'm onto something here.
I'm on to something here.
You have a
Excellent.
great day now.
What? Give me the frickin' follow-up, you stupid gnome. I will kill you. I will kill you. I will eat you. Alive. Screaming.
Time is money, friend.
Okay, maybe not. That's kind of gross. I'll eat your soul. What, Gnarlex? I'm okay with killing every gnome that's in my way. And eating them alive. It's okay, they've got that device that lets them survive in the middle of the beast's belly, so they'll be good.
Yo,
Very well. Let's do it.
be good.
What's up?
Okay, what do we got? Discard
Glad you're doing
supplies.
interesting, yeah.
Sticky,
Glad I could help.
harvest, there's a flyer.
Hurry back.
Okay, we're gonna skip every single one of those quests. Well, if they weren't so damn expensive, and also I don't think they're making them anymore, I might consider it. Right over here is where I'm going. I need to look up what... That was weird. Something. Well, not anymore, Gnarlex. Alright, where is she? Blah, 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 blah. I gotta be honest, if the Pandarans pissed off anyone, they'd probably be screwed. They were so innocent and so naive and had no concept at all. I was actually thinking the other day, it's actually kind of weird that the Pandarans weren't allowed to start at level 60 or 70 or 80 when you first make a Pandaran. And the funny thing is, the only lore reason I came up with for why that is because of the fact that the Pandarans themselves are so inexperienced that, relatively speaking, their level ceiling is so much lower. So, you could probably assume that no Pandaran in the Wandering Isles was ever higher level
Talk
than,
to me.
15 or whatever.
Glad I could help.
Because they're so sheltered there, you know? Yes, Raskar, that's exactly the truth. Here we go. Damn it, do I have to do all the quests? I have to do all the quests to do the Titan quest. You gotta be kidding me. Fine, I'll do all the quests. God. Frickin' catazones.
King's honor, friend.
What ho, traveler. I'd be a lot more patient if I wasn't literally passing out. I'm this close to just shutting off and lying down. I am really tired. What ho, traveler. You must know that you set foot upon the camp of Maximilian of Northshire. Perhaps you've heard my tales sung of my many exploits. I can see from the look in your eye that you have. The glint of recognition plays upon your visage like the white lady's reflection or stone-cairn lake. It seems clear to me that you seek adventure, as you seem to be able enough and thoroughly well-intentioned. I offer to make you my squire.
For the Alliance.
Let's do it. A squire is the right hand of a knight. You're already fully aware hands are especially good at carrying things, and thus your first duty will be carry my sundries, knickknacks, and other miscellaneous paraphernalia, while I dispense justice across the land. To jug around such etc. is a job unbefitting of a knight. Okay. Very good. Secondly, you must know that a knight embraces no tenet more rightly than that of chivalry. He clings to his generosity as tightly as he clings to his lance. You don't have a lance. His valor shines as brightly as his armor. His manner among his allies is soft and courteous. Now tell me, Iron Man, do you give your oath to hold the teachings of chivalry and gallantry? Yeah, sure, whatever. Ha! Did I not just say chivalry and gallantry are in charge of the knight? You seek only to be a squire. The colossal burden of a chivalry is unfit for a squire. For as I mentioned before, the only colossal burden that you are to bear is that of my belongings. Okay. Moving on, as chivalry is the way of the knight, and I am the knight, you must know that my intentions are indeed valorous. It is true, I fight for the Lady Deloria, to proclaim her beauty and majesty across all the lands. Any who question her beauty are without a doubt the most vile of enemies and must be brought to justice. As I speak, it occurs to me I am a failure. We have come quite far in the squiring ceremony, yet I have not ascertained whether or not you deserve my charity or my righteous fury. I must know, do you agree that Lady Deloria is unquestionably the fairest lady across all of Azeroth? Yes. I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations, for you may have completed your training. You may now ride beside me into fray. Woohoo!
Be careful. Need help?
You please me, Ironman. From this day forward, you are no longer a simple beggar, but a squire, loyal to Maximilian of Northshire. Prepare yourself for our first sally, good squire, for together we shall plunge our fists elbow deep into what they call adventure. Gross.
Light bless you.
This crater is filled with malignant breed of dragons. Have you seen them? They wander about, parading their spiky backs and lizardly faces all over the crater. Don't let them fool you, for these dragons are no minion of the graceful Alexstrasza. They are clearly vicious and in dire need of a hero's blade. I've decided I will slay no less than 15 of them. As my squire, you must come along. Should we become separated, you can meet me back here.
Go with honor, friend. Light be with you.
I have a feeling we may find more than dragons here in this crater. My paladin instincts tell me there are maidens nearby that require our aid, while my heart beats only for the Lady Deloria. A damsel in distress cannot be ignored. Let us sally forth, Squire Ironman. The ladies of Unguro require our aid.
For the Alliance.
Hey,
Greetings.
buddy. I don't see any dragons. Nonsense. Have I hired a blind squire? There's dragons everywhere. My neighbor refers to them as dinosaurs, but I know a dragon when I see the one. They must be slayed.
Light bless you.
So, guys, we've just become squire to a madman. Vita. Carlurus? God, am I saying that correctly? Anyways, the two things that make up life, or at least Titan created life, are Animus and Vita.
What's up? Keep it real.
Go get bones. That's what that quest is. No, I'm kidding. We'll go and read it. You'd think that being a chief digger for martial expeditions mean I like digging. There might be worse things to do in this world, but none leap to mind. We were supposed to be digging in Terror Run. Fantastic name, by the way. For dead stegodons and dimetrodons. Well, there are plenty of live ones here, too. Will and Hole are about studying this death trap, so we need more dinosaur bones. Between you and me, though, bringing some of the live ones will work out just as well. He is actually helping us fight on his pony, by the way. And yes, that is deliberately smaller than it should be on him. Actually, let's go do that really quick. I'm sorry, Azura. You can murder me if you want to. It's okay, I give you permission. If you can make it quick, though, that'd be really helpful. Luck is with us today. A damsel appears before us, stuck in a crab without hope of escape. Let us go save her. Maiden, fear not. Maximilian of Northshire has arrived to deliver you from your rocky tomb. Hup. Now cry not, as you will not fall to your death, but into the waiting arms of my squire. Oh god, oh god. No, wait, Be flung to safety! Before I take my leave, you must be told it is not my fault you lay stretched on the ground, but the fault of my squire. Nevertheless, you are freed from the mountain's grip and safe from harm. I want you to picture what that'd be like. Oh, thank God you've come to save me. Why are you picking me up? Whoa! And no, you cannot actually catch her. There is no option to do so. Maximilian of Northshire is truly... He's a larper, wow. No, he's right, it is my fight. It's my fault. I should have saved her. Could have been a contender. Yeah, go away. Alright, we'll go and pick up these quests.
Yeah, what do you want?
I'm always looking for a quick way to earn gold. If you help me with the newest idea, I'll let you in on some of my profit. How's that sound to you? Thought so. We're gonna make some glue. Head to the tar pits north here and get me some tar, not just any tar. I'll need to get from the beasts around the pits. As a bonus, use my tar scraper on their corpses. You can keep your hands nice and clean.
Be good. Have a good one.
Alright, here, just for you.
Yo! Hurry back!
The Lakari tar pits, just north of... Oh, I missed a quest.
Time is money, friend.
Yep. The Lakari tar pits, just north of here, conceal a hidden treasure, rare flowers. They grow at the bottom of the pits. These tar blossoms, as they're called, are valued for their beauty and their durability. It's been a while since I last harvested tar blossoms, so there should be some giant new plants growing around at the area. Could you grab some for me? Yeah, sure.
What can I do for you? Go with honor, friend.
I'm making a flying machine. I got stranded here, but I'm absolutely horrible at finding my way around. I'd take a griffin or a wind rider back to Gadgetson, but those beasts just scare me to death. So, will you help me? All I have to do is build the wings. I was thinking the webby scales from the pterodax and the screaming reaches to the west would be perfect. There's no way I'm going to go up against one of those, but you look pretty tough. Why don't you give it a try? Yeah, sure. Big part about making money, shamelessness. You have to be willing to profit off of the misfortune of others. It all boils down to the one question. How much do you love money? When Marshall and his crew abandoned their refuge up to the north, left behind a lot of supplies. This stuff isn't rare, or even particularly valuable, but it's there if you're willing to take it. His camp is up to the north. Oh! And, be on the lookout for whatever made them leave. Yes, Ricky, he does show up elsewhere in WoW. At least one other place I can think of. He shows up during, okay, so there's a daily quest you can do for the Molten Front. And when you're doing that daily quest, random NPCs from, like, everywhere, from every previous quest in, like, the entire game, there's like 30 of them, can show up, and he is among those. Seriously, it's a huge list of NPCs. You think this role player is bad? The gentleman in Hillsbrad is... well, I'd say worse, but he's actually better in every way. You know who I'm talking about. And that makes 15. Justice had a name today. And that name was Maximilian of Northshire. For Deloria! You ever wonder if Deloria is a real person? I am indeed Mind Blast. You know, I've noticed a trend as we're going through these zones, at least in Cata. We didn't have this problem in Northrend, or in BC for that matter. But the further we go into the zones, the less lore I have to discuss. Like, I have like 3 bullet points to talk about Ungoro, and 1 bullet point to talk about when we get to Silithus, and that's it. I mean, almost all the earlier zones, it's like, oh, I gotta talk about this, I gotta talk about that. I actually gotta stop here and stop questing because I have so much stuff to talk about. Just food for thought. Up! We have found another fair maiden to save. The damsel by the shore. Typical Blood Elf joke. Look, Squire. Yon maiden has lost her purse to the sulphurous waters of the Galaka Hot Springs. Maiden, fear not, I seek only to steady the quiver of thine lower lip. Is that thy purse that floats yon wander and agonizingly close to perilously far away? What? Yeah, that's my crate, and I'm not a... You're not a what? Not available? Worry not, for my heart belongs only to Lady Deloria, though one as fair as you must command the hearts of many. My squire will retrieve your purse for you.
Anaria Shola.
And yes, Tonka, that is correct.
We will persevere. Time is of the essence.
We did kind of blaze through Tannerus, that's true. Yes, it is definitely a typical Blood Elf joke, like I said. Deloria's a Naga. Or a faceless one. Deloria, at last. Yes, I agree, my dear beloved. We must kill all the infidels who say that you are some ugly, hideous bastard. Well, these were prototype animals that were being produced by the Titans as a testbed to see if they were suitable for the rest of the ecosystem and the various biomes they were creating across the world. Obviously, based on circumstances, they were not. It was determined that these dinosaurs should remain confined within here. And some of them got out anyways because the Titans kind of stopped monitoring things and the world kind of cracked in half. Funny what that'll do to you. Welcome back, Jujus. Are you ready to be destroyed? by the Stegodon. Actually, you laugh. These used to be some of the hardest creatures in here. Second only to the frickin' Tyrant. That's true, War Wager. I'd have to dump money on it, but I could do that. And then you would see the power of incredibly terrible decks. Seriously, I don't think I even have a custom deck at this point.
Time is money, friend.
Think whatever you want of me, but I'm not going to care if the bones they get the research from are ancient or the ones that are devoured wholesale when we're trying to set up our camps. I'm just happy to get out of here alive. Excellent. Now, if you'll permit me, in case anyone's listening. Thanks for digging all of these bones out of the ground for us and not hurting the native beasts in any way. Whether you really did or didn't, I don't know. And let's just keep it that way, shall we? Here, maybe this will help keep your lips shut on the whole thing. And then to get out of here alive, I say. One of the things I hate most about digging is the fact that half the time all you find is dirt. So I've been spending most of my time out here tinkering instead of digging. Let me now show you what I invented. The Fossil Finder 3000. I just put the finishing touches on it. If it works properly, it should find the largest fossils in the area. I know, sweet, huh? Okay. Well.
Glad I could help.
Okay. No, Hermias, our Pandaren is still going without food. What do you mean, Zawan? Or are you just joking? Which is what I'm assuming. It's okay. It's lore within lore. Within lore. It's only 3 layers down. I feel like I'm doing archaeology all of a sudden. Seriously, this is a lot like archaeology. Link, of course you can't link anything, Ricky. I'll look it up later. Why would they do that, Zawan? Like, that literally doesn't make sense. What's the justification being given? Ah, found it. The enormous dinosaur talon. This bone is easily over 3 feet long. Wow. I don't see anything about it, Zawan. Granted, I just did a casual search. But I figured it would be right at the top. Noxuramus is going away, you know. Yeah, I know exactly what standard mode is. Why does that affect adventures at all? Adventures are single-player stuff. Also known as best player. Sorry. Are they getting rid of all the adventures? Because that's, what's the word? Garbage, right. That's total garbage if they're doing that. That would be like the ultimate expression of PvE versus PvP. We've decided that you have to play Hearthstone against other players, so these modes that we put in for single-player modes, we're getting rid of those. Screw you. That would officially kill my interest in that game, too.
What's up?
What an interesting femur you brought here. Why is it all sharp and curvy? Wait a minute, this thing's a talon? A dinosaur with a talon that size would have been, well, big. Really big, that's for sure. Is it the only fossil you found out there? Wait a minute, this bone has a pickaxe! These aren't yours, are they? No. No, I recognize this. This must be that blasted dwarf! Let me take a step back and explain. There's another archaeologist south of here named Durin Direshovel. He practices a reckless, devil-may-care brand of archaeology that offends even me. A priceless fossil ruined by this sloppy pickwork. This is the last straw. Go put an end to Dire Shovel and his negligent excavation. Reckless archaeology shall not go unpunished. It belongs in a museum. Blah, 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 blah. Seriously, though, I can't believe they're actually getting rid of that. That literally makes no sense to me. Between the choice of putting up a warning saying you can't play this in certain modes, only in the one mode, too, by the way, because you can still play the free-for-all mode however you want to, or getting rid of it, the availability to ever purchase it ever, they choose to get rid of the availability to purchase it. I don't even have an analogy for how stupid that is. Blizzard, you're retarded. Moving on. God damn it. I'm tempted to just not purchase it out of protest and say screw Hearthstone and stop caring about the game. It's not like I'm that invested in the game anyways. I play it once a week if it happens to be a brawl that I actually like. Also, there's a frickin' T-Rex in my way. But it's okay, because she's not actually in my way. I'm going over here, apparently. Moving on. Oh, nope, he's up here. He's even riding a raptor. I'll turn you into a fossil, Pandaren. Because I'm apparently pure evil. Oh, God. Oh, I've dug me on grave. Oh, hey, we got his archaeological findings. Emperor Thaurissan. Below is the account of my most recent findings in the Unguro crater. After the Cataclysm hit, I stopped my current project and began sweeping the crater for new potential dig sites. Curiously, the crater wasn't hit hard by the Cataclysm. It was hit by it, though. But I did find what appeared to be a monstrous mandible peeking out of the ground in Terrorun. There we go. Well, I admittedly don't have a mobile thing to play it on, so it is a PC game to me. It appears to be the ancestor of dinosaurs that lived here. I've been spending the last several weeks digging it out, and it's been my most exciting dig yet. By my calculations, this beast must be nearly 300 feet long, from tip to tail. That's longer than most of the largest dragons. Far larger than any other dinosaur that currently exists here in the crater. It's been going slow, mainly because I need to cover up my work behind me. The blasted goblin Nilmerus still has cronies digging in the area. I mustn't risk any news of this discovery leaking before I send back my final results to Blackrock Mountain. This must be the key piece of information that tells us what the Titans were doing in Unguro. Yeah, I know, Ricky. I would say something really mean right now, but I don't feel like it. He probably doesn't know, Magister. Keep in mind, by Cataclysm, Thaurissan is dead. Like, the fact that we can go do BRD, that's not current. Thaurissan is dead. He was dead before Cata, because his death led to the child and Moira and that whole thing. So, yeah.
Talk to me!
Is the deed done? Did you manage to salvage his notes? I knew it. Durin has been digging around here. He's been excavating what could be the archaeological find of the century. I just figured out how we stashed in the bones. Thanks, Arman. It's been a help. Durin's research touched on one area that intrigues me, a potential link between the dinosaurs and the Titans. J.D. Colley back at the camp is always talking about Titans this and Crystal that. Maybe she'll be interested. Before you report to her, you might want to check the crystal pylon just not far from here.
Hurry back!
I can do that. Yes, Thaurissan died for real this time. He is no really dead. I'm curious what they're going to do with the child, though, if anything. I'm picturing Puppet Ruler for Moira. And then it turns out he's actually better at manipulations than she is. Dun dun dun. No, you don't need to... You don't need to save her, I swear. Please don't try to save her again. Please. Please.
Well met. Be careful.
You don't need to save her, dude. I got you this time. I tried. It's okay. It was her twin sister who was wondering where her sister went off to. That we just flung on top of her sister's corpse. We're the good guys in this game. I swear. Yeah. Speaking of which, let's go see if we can find that other damsel in distress. The damsel of the north. One thing I actually find funny is that there are damsels here. I mean, I know that's just a creative term, or a flowery term, rather, but... You know? There's damsels here. I don't see a damsel of the north. I do see obsidian spires, indicating... Oh, there she is. Is that a goblin? It appears that adventure has made itself apparent. Look, as yonder maiden trends innocently through the jungle, a hatched phoenix stalks her as its prey. Watch as the accursed bird becomes flame as ash as soon as it is slayed. For Deloria! Curiously, the bird does not become flame and ash. A phoenix that does not become flame and ash upon its death is a dire omen indeed. Maiden, if your curiosity gnaws at you, you may know that your salvation was delivered by Maximilian of Northshire. I fear I must leave you. Farewell. It was squawky. Okay, there was a slight bug with that quest, but there was a parrot. Her parrot. I don't actually know, Gnarlex. Our duty is fulfilled. Even so, it troubles me that today's damsels were less than gracious. Only the fair-haired one by the lake managed to show us any gratitude for our chivalry. Perhaps tomorrow's damsels will have thankfulness to match their beauty. Now we must ride. More adventures await!
King's honor, friend. Need help?
A moment of seriousness now, Ironman. We have an important quest ahead of us. The treacherous dragons that plague this valley will not cease their mischief until we destroy their repugnant
With honor, friend.
brood
What can
mother.
I do for
Fine.
you?
Can't keep up. Before we even attempt to complete such a task, we must ask the light for aid. I have seen the light manifest itself nearby in the form of spirits floating by the shores of Galoka Hot Springs. Come! I must speak with them and ask them for aid.
For the Alliance.
He's referring to the steam elementals, by the way. Just saying. So one cool thing they added in Kata, I believe. Hang on, I'll show it off in a second. At least I may show it off in a second. There you go. The swimming in tar debuff. The debuff just says, you're trying to swim in a tar pit. I love that. Used to be this was just treated as straight out water. I can make it. I can make it to shore. Ugh. Yeah. Swimming in tar. Yeah. Okay, we're okay, we made it. Now to jump right back in. Because, yeah. No. Damn it. Oh, okay. Ah. Okay. I probably could use a bath after this. Reduced by 10 seconds. Wow. They're definitely changing the world with Warcraft 3. See, the weird thing is, I'm not sure, Norlix, because I'm not sure what they did with Arthas's body. It wouldn't actually surprise me if most people aren't even fully aware of the fact that Arthas was a good guy, you know? That he was a hero. Also, the fact that they've updated Warcraft 3 kind of makes me sad. I've been hoping for a proper remake of Warcraft 3 for a long time. Done in, say, StarCraft 2's engine, for instance. If they're updating the old game, that actually makes it less likely that they're doing that. Because it means they're just going to update the old games, like they did with D2. Like I said, G-Juice. I really would not be surprised if they either desecrated or burned or otherwise destroyed his body. Or worse, they might have left it for, Bolvar to do whatever he wanted with it. Which, sounds kind of unpleasant, actually. You shall not contaminate the investigation site. Yeah, die. Stupid stone guardians. Why do you guys think it's in Stormwind? Like, where are you getting that from? Because if you're talking about the grave, I didn't think there was any bodies in that grave. Or body, I suppose I should say, but you know what I mean. Do not disturb investigation protocol. Beep, boop. We are robots made of stone and animus. Aww. Look, guys. Here lies Dodonga. Sturdy mount, trusted friend. Died shortly after the Cataclysm. She always hated loud noises. Poor Dodonga. Ah, crap, there's other players here. Quick. Must get there before they do. No. Oh, thank God, we got it before they did. They're updating D2 to compete with Path of Exile. Uh-huh. That surely has nothing to do with the big Diablo thing they're working on right now, right? Ah, damn it, there's other players here. Freaking hell, go away, players. I suppose in the interest of total honesty, that earlier comment I had about making everything share wouldn't fix every problem. Because stuff where it's like stuff on the ground would still be an issue. So the only thing they could do to fix that is increase the spawn rate, like a lot. Although, they could do that too. Increase the spawn rate, make stuff share, bam. 2 changes, done. Everything is better forever. That might actually encourage players to more coordinate rather than compete. You know? In fact, not to talk about Warlords, but in Warlords, one of the things I saw a lot, especially when Warlords is pretty much new, was a lot of players would coordinate. there'd be a player sitting staring at a rare like, well, I can't kill that. And someone else would be like, hey, you want some help killing that? And they'd be like, sure, because we'd both get credit for it, you know? And I saw that a lot in Warlords. And it's because it's shared, you know? That's another thing. Oh my god, I got a Guardian Stone. I got a Guardian Stone. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping this thing. That's staying in my inventory. I don't know, there's a few, like, 100 pounds of concrete is a fairly strong weapon, if you think about it. So what do I think about Overwatch fitting in the Blizzard universes? So I imagine, they will do that in Legion, yes. It's just the catch, is, yes, it's extremely rare, Henrik. The catch with Legion is it's only for Legion stuff. What I would like them to do, you know, ideal world or whatever, is to go back and make those changes for everything else, right? So going through Cata, going through BC, going through Northrend, everything shares quick respawns, bam, so that there's that cooperation thing rather than the competition thing. I seriously, I can't believe I actually got one to drop. That's crazy. Does anything even use these anymore? Let me look that up. Like, obviously something has to use them because they still drop. Let's see. Wow, yeah, there's still a couple of things it's used for. Not much. Excuse me. To be completely honest, I don't remember what they were used for back in vanilla. There was something that I needed the Guardian Stones for, and I don't remember what it is. And I needed, like, well, several. I needed, like, 10 or something like that. Anyways, Overwatch. So I assume you're asking if I think Overwatch is part of, like, is a proper Blizzard universe, or are you asking, do I think it fits with the other continuities, or help me out? What are you asking me? So I can answer.
Yeah, what do you want?
Did you find anything? It's a bunch of junk, but it's a bunch of free junk, and that's all that matters to me. Well, mostly free. Here's your share.
Hurry back.
Ding. That's what, 4 dings in Unguro? We need a picture with Maximilian of the Shire. I'm with a psychopath.
Well, spit it out.
Tara's done it to me again. This super sticky glue will be all the rage.
Yeah, this is pretty sticky, I guess. I mean, it's sticky, but it's not make fistfuls of money sticky. Guess I'll have to keep thinking.
Hey, I know. We've been just looking at the wrong creatures. Gramex once told me about a larger-than-normal tar creature he ran into. Lurked around the tar pit to the east of here, south of Fungal Rock. I'll bet the bigger those creatures get, the stickier they get. We'll make some money yet. Oh, don't forget the scraper.
Have a good one. Welcome, friend.
Have you obtained the harvest? Oh, here they are. Great work, handsome. Here's some gold. You've earned it.
Glad I could help.
Yo!
Every vehicle needs a name. I was thinking of calling it the Pwned.
What, Rasker?
Yeah, these scales are perfect. I should be able to get with the flyer off the ground with these for sure. Thanks!
Keep it real!
Yeah, no problem.
What's on your mind?
Unfortunately, something's happened to one of my greatest creations. Oh my god! It's a dwarf killer! Because I'm Horde and an idiot! You've seen the mechanical squirrels, yes? Well, to get closer to the apes of Ungoro Crater, I created a mechanical ape to blend in with their kind. I call her AME-01. Amy. She has been studying the local wildlife at the Fungal Rock for several months. She should have returned by now. I feared the worst for her. Think you can find her?
See you soon.
Hey, how you doing?
There's plenty of money to be had in here. You just need to know where to look. Apes may be common in Ungoro, but they're much rarer up north. In Everlook, a gorilla hide fetches 10 times what you get for it down here. I'm not going to send you all the way up to Winterspring. That'd be irresponsible. But I could use your help in obtaining some hides. You'll find gorillas at Fungal Rock to the northeast near a waterfall. Don't forget to check inside the cave.
Keep it real.
So, time to go after AME-01. Yeah. Gotcha, Laffit. Okay, I think I see where you're coming from. So the funny thing is, Overwatch actually has a surprisingly in-depth lore and backstory, but it doesn't really have a modern plot, if you know what I mean. Or to explain what I mean by that, they've done a lot of work on the world and the history up to the now, but the effective plot of when the game actually starts is practically non-existent, and they've already stated, although they've already changed their mind on this at least once, that none of that plot will be revealed in the actual game. It'll be revealed in comics and videos and, you know, side stuff. So, who knows? But it is an interesting choice for them. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like at least some of that is the pragmatism of wanting to compete in another market. And the fact that Activision has basically
well met.
Given up their efforts to get into the Team Fortress 2 market. But yeah, Team Fortress 2, for those of you not aware, does have a story. It's just presented weirdly. And again, a lot of backstory, but not a lot of plot. Blizzard of Borg, as my friends and I often say. But yeah, as Gnarlix points out, and as several other people point out, there's the Obsidian Mail Tunic. There's the Blackguard Sword. I don't remember what it was I wanted, specifically with the Guardian Stones. I really don't. There was something specific. I have no current interest in doing so, G-Juice. The absence of a story or an actual campaign mode reduces my interest almost to non-existent. And it's not like I can do really anything for the show with Overwatch, other than prove how terrible I am at FPSs. So it's not like I have anything against Overwatch, it's just there's nothing there for me, you know? It's like buying that new FIFA game. I look at it and it's like, well, I'm sure it's a good FIFA game, I just don't see what the point of it is for me. Feelings? I can't remember the whole quote. I can't remember the whole quote from the sniper. Something about doing horrible things with a golf trophy. I remember that. Professionals have standards. Be efficient. Be polite. Have a plan to kill everyone you meet. Amy lies motionless before you. No power seems to be running through her components. Suddenly the robotic eyes light up. Operational capacity less than 5%. Accidentally punctured oil reserves. Use coconut milk. Save Amy. Okay. I can do that. I can do that. I can get you some coconut milk. Right after I kill all these gorillas, of course. Where can I find a coconut? Aha! There you go, War Wager. Thank you. Yes, Permeus. Alright, you pour the coconut milk into what appears to be Amy's oil reservoir. You hear the sound of gears whirring and actuators firing. Greetings. I, Unit Amy U. Pandaren? Amy's mission to study local guerrillas' success. Amy has gathered data Karna needs. Amy not returning, though. Amy has new family now. Here, guerrillas. Amy stay. Amy sneezes. Amy detaches a small device from her hand and gives it to you. You bring data back to Karna. You tell her what happened. So, we have just invented a gorilla that can talk and has made a family for itself amongst the actual gorillas. I don't know what else to say about that. Holy crap. We have invented a gorilla that can freaking think for itself and is also mechanical and has made a family.
Greetings. Light bless you.
A game with a strong exploration aspect. Well, No Man's Sky is coming out in like a month, I think, at this point. Wait, what am I doing, Ricky? How am I playing God? What I do? What I do? All I'm doing is killing gorillas. That's all I want to do. I just want to massacre them. I want them all to die. Every last filthy, stinking, dirty ape. Okay. Yeah, there's no way. Never mind. I was going to ask you guys if you thought we'd hit 60 in Fellwood or in Winterspring, but at this point, I think we are incredibly likely to hit 60 in Fellwood. Look, I didn't make that gorilla, Ricky, okay? A dwarf did. And you know what else dwarves made? Hitler! This is really off topic, but has anyone out there heard of a game called Secret Hitler? I know that sounds like a weird thing, but it's actually a really good game. That's it. I just wanted to mention about that. By the way, I hope you appreciate this pun. So the gorilla wanted to give us some of the data that she had gathered. So she pulled off her thumb, which had all the information on it. You might actually call it a thumb drive. Anywho.
Need help?
Great to meet you.
What's this? She decided to stay. Fascinating. I'll have to look over this data and see why. Thank you, Ironman. I really appreciate it.
Watch your back.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm counting on you, Ironman. I'm invested pretty heavily into this tar as glue scheme. It'd be a shame if I came back empty-handed. Yes, the stuff. Wait a minute. My hands! I can't seem to get them apart! Oh, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But wait, super sticky tar remover. That's where the real money is!
Be good.
Time is money, friend.
There's your hides.
Be good.
There's your hides.
Have a good one.
You've done us a number of favors. Now let Gremix do one for you. The attacks on Marshall Refuge were terrible, undoubtedly. They came without warning and took no prisoners. They were lucky so many of them survived. A few weeks ago, I came across a crystal pylon to the northeast here. I think the pylon and the attacks are related. Maybe you can investigate. I'm sure someone in Marshall Stand will thank you.
Be good.
Okay. But before we do that, let's go make sure Maximilian gets his blessing from the spirits of the lake. I also agree with Magister, by the way. Could you imagine a game with, like, a massive open world? Like, we're talking, like, Just Cause 3 levels of just huge world. Except that's WoW. That's Azeroth. Wouldn't that be really cool? No? Okay, never mind. Alright, how do we do this? Hey! Here's your, steaming fury. I mean, your... Squire, please stand next to me as I request the blessings of this light spirit. Okay. Light, give us the courage to enter battle with Unguro's corrupted dragons. I also ask you to shine your glorious light upon the immaculate face of the Lady Deloria. Finally, please find it in your heart to forgive my squire, for I see you are smiting him. Light, grant us the ability to bring the Unguro dragons to their demise. I ask you to sprinkle wildflowers around the feet of my beautiful Deloria, where'er she may walk. Finally, please stop buffeting my squire with punches and kicks. See you around, Sonoshi. Might I ask a question? What act have you committed to make the spirits so angry at you? I'm impressed you have the patience to sit so still while they pummeled you so violently. Now we may proceed. The teeth and scales of Unguro's greatest dragon await us. Let us reconvene at my camp as friends and fellow heroes to discuss our final and most dangerous quest. Hup hup, Pimento. Yes, I named my mount Pimento. With Blizzard, anything can happen. Oh, wait. Wrong joke. Sorry. God, I'm really tired.
King's honor, friend.
The time we've waited for is upon us. Squire Ironman, Unguro's broodmother will perish at my hands. The gravity of our task weighs heavily on me, but with the power of the light behind us, we are guaranteed to succeed. Are you ready to depart?
Be careful.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll just ride on the back here. We sally forth in search of the dragon's despicable broodmother. Follow me, Squire. You should be using my stallion's stomp ability. Her powerful hooves will cleave the ground itself, stunning any nearby dragons. What look. Pimento's hooves have kicked up some stones we may use against the dragons. Oh, glorious day. Perhaps you should try hurling them at nearby dragons to practice your throwing arm. Yeah, the pony is carrying a guy and a Pandaren. Like, full tilt. Not yet, Juju's. Maybe eventually. And Bolvar Four Dragon died with him. I see the dragon up ahead. She is much larger than I first anticipated. Dragon, hear me out. I am Maximilian of Northshire, and I have come to deliver you. Your blood shall fill... Oh, great Uther's ghost, it's chasing after us. Squire, do something. Throw rocks at it. I have no plan. Wait, I have an idea. Here, throw my shield at the beast. Okay. It's Jurassic Park the game. Holy crap. That shield toss worked out remarkably well. Quick, hurl my holy shoulder plate! I don't think I agree, Raskor. This is pretty epic. As we're slowly flinging his armor bit by bit at it. I have managed to remove my gloves. You may fling them at our foe. And notice he is actually losing his armor bit by bit as we go here. I'm going to fling all sorts of stones at your face. The ironclad heel of my armored boots should prove quite the spectacle. Or quite destructive, excuse me. Both, I suppose, really. Fling, 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 fling. Die, die, monster. Eat my other shoulder plate, vile wizard. Lizard. Oh god. Oh god. If you can heft my breastplate, then throw it! Throw it for Deloria! The day is saved! Huzzah! We have learned that while armor can be replaced, valor has no price. Because of your key involvement in this task, I hereby graduate you from Squire to fledgling knight. No longer do the chains of servitude bind you to me. You are free to serve other masters. Go with honor, young hero, for chivalry, for the light, and for the beauty of Deloria. Also, by the way, his last piece of armor, he says, this is quickly becoming humiliating and drafty. Hopefully my leg plates will deal the death blow. Which, obviously, they did. Also... Wow. You know what? Hang on. Oh, God damn it. Die in a fire. Honestly, Raskor, that seems very in character for my Pandoran. Just kind of go with the flow, like, okay. I suppose I will engage in your adventures with you, Mr. Maximilian. You must be quite a great knight for your people. For pony. By the way, Ding 58. Here's Maximilian and his pony. Let's be honest, the pony was the real hero here. Oh, I should have totally... You know what? I think this is the one and only time we'll take 2 Ding pictures. Because, yeah. Imagine if every time you went from the Eastern Kingdoms to Kalimdor you had to log off for 3 months. I do exactly know what I'm going to do when we get there, Norlex, yes.
Have a good one.
I have a plan in mind, and it's ready to go. Completely. None will survive the warlord's raids. They will all be destroyed. Okay. Congrats, Lofus.
Good day to you.
Yes, Ironman? Well, I'll be. That's just a little portable dynameter. Where'd you find this?
See you around.
You're welcome. But first, let's do this.
Pleased to meet you.
God
Very well, then.
damn it. I forgot to do the Northern Highland. No, I plan to spend the next 3 months doing the Lorerun for exactly one quest chain. That's actually the plan I have in mind. Ugh. I am the best player of WoWs. I plays the MMOs well. As long as there's no other frickin' players in my massively multiplayer online game. God, it's so much to ask for them all to just go away forever and never come back. Yeah. What? I'm sure the armor pen will help tremendously, Ricky. Hey, Theru. Almost there, almost there, almost there. I'd like to say this is the end of the Kalimdor, but I keep reminding myself that I've got 2 zones left, Feralwood and Winterspring. Which will probably be tomorrow's adventures. I'm not sure we'll beat both zones tomorrow, but we'll try. We'll see how that works out. Is this it? Yep, this is it. I was right. Which zone's the one? You mean Hanvilmar? 24-hour stream. I'm about to fall asleep already. I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, now... You know, honestly, I think it's faster to just go straight back. Oh, God. Oh, the stretching. The stretchination. Son of stretching. Oh, the revenge of stretch. Oh, okay. I am sorry for being so damn tired today, guys. Ooh. I don't know what's up with me. But you know what I do know? Is that why do I have Maximilian's armor still? Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Oh, Silithus. Right, we're doing Silithus next. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. I almost forgot to do Silithus as a one. If it wasn't for you, we might have skipped that zone. Just think. All the lore we would be skipping out on. Gone. Forever. Reminds me of Mario and Luigi 4. Is the one. Dream Team or whatever. Okay. Actually, I do want to, GG's. I've been thinking about doing a 24-hour stream. My health has been kind of not good the last several years. And so I haven't actually felt comfortable trying. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly don't think I could even succeed at it, even if I tried. I'd also have to have something to do that was engaging for the full 24 hours. Okay.
My, you're a tall one.
The pylon in the west? Relationship between titans and dinosaurs?
Very good. Off and away.
Whoa, whoa, what's that? Holy crap, it's a giant orb of doom and death and destruction.
The crystal pylons have been activated. A sufficient number of crystals have been gathered. The prerequisites have been met. We are prepared to teleport you to the Shaper's Terrace. Wait, what? What's the Shaper's Terrace? Ah! Hello, Nabla. Yet another Watcher. How does she even get in and out of here? Who are you? I am Nabla, apprentice to Khazgoroth, an envoy to Ungoro Crater. I am known as a Watcher. I stand in the place of my master who has long since left Azeroth. He once stood in this very spot and shaped many of his creations. What are you doing here? I am observing. It is my charge to watch over Ungoro, and I do so from this spot. I am also performing tests and recording the results. These tests allow me to observe that which most interests me. Tests? What kind of tests? Simple stimuli response tests. Normally my kind does not interfere with the matters of Azeroth, but here in Ungoro, we are free to take a different approach. As Ungoro is the experimental ground of the Titans, it is our right to do so. For example, say Khazgoroth wants to know what happens when one of his creations is exposed to a sulfurous hot spring. He could wait for millennia observing and waiting for the creature to accidentally stumble and fall in. Or he could place the creature in the water himself. In Unguro, we may do so. Does that give anyone else kind of a really screwed up vibe, by the way? Like kind of a, I wonder what happens if I torture a creature in this way kind of a vibe. Not exactly. In fact, many of the creatures in the crater existed long before my master arrived, but some did not. But we observed them all without prejudice. Why are you telling me all of this? I can't get a good camera angle. Oh, I guess we'll go with that. When the Cataclysm struck Azeroth, it disrupted the cloaking mechanism that kept this terrace hidden. At that point, it was only a matter of time before the intelligent races discovered me here. This was a scenario that, quite honestly, we did not foresee. It requires us to perform new tests, and you are my new test subject. Nabla, I must ask, did Khazgoroth create me and the rest of my race? I am not authorized to answer that question. I am, however, permitted to offer a suggestion. Seek out Bronn Bronzebeard. He has already learned much of what there is to learn about us, and he is teetering on the verge of another discovery. Oh, thank you, Nabla. I have been watching you, Ironman. Your arrival was not unforeseen. In fact, your arrival has been predetermined for some time now. When my master, Khazragoth, shaped the world you call Azeroth, he designed Unguro Crater to be an area for experimentation. You might call it the Titan's petri dish. If you wish further knowledge about the methods we use to observe the world, pull the lever behind me and observe the results. Okay. You're gonna let me test the world too. That's actually kind of cool. Hopefully this doesn't involve putting everything in pits of acid, right? Okay, we're good. What do we got? Alright. Let's see what happens when a blood petal fights another blood petal. So I can attack, lash out, spit poison, or entangle things in roots. Hey, you. Root you. Yeah, blood petal form. New druid form. New druid form. Khazgoroth. That's what I said, Zuan. That's gonna happen, Subotex. In fact, they're already uploaded. They're just not live yet. I want you to test the limits of your wings. Fly up above the jungle canopy. Hey! Flight form in vanilla. Who knew? Khazgoroth? I don't know. Whatever. Screw you, Zoan. That's my response to you. Izandra. That's my response to you. Or Izara. Excuse me, Izara. I have flown as high as I can. I will now plummet to my death. For the Titans. I want you to speak with the local gorillas. Okay, I can do that. Speak with one of each type and see what they have to teach you. You'll notice we're kind of translucent, by the way. See that? This is interesting because this is probably the one and only quest ever we actually see how the Titans operate, or excuse me, the minions of the Titans operate from their perspective. This is how they interact with the outside world. Crash report XX017, checksum error 0081. Fluid levels dangerously low. Mission failure. Never got the chance to see Outlands. Aw, poor guy, girl. Who are you? What do you want with our tribe? What can you teach me, gorilla? Individual strength is important, but tribal strength is more so. Our tribe is only as strong as its weakest member. Oh, okay. Thank you. Cool. Hey, look, an actual jump animation for gorillas. That's kind of creepy, actually. Yeah, this is why I had to do all the quests, Mind Blast. You remember earlier I was like, I have to do all the quests. It was because of this. I had to show this off. I'm so sorry, Deutsch. We'll miss you, Deutsch. God, give me a run speed buff or something. Let's talk to the boss. See what he has to say. Who are you? What do you want? Hey, did you hear about the one Pandaren monk? Okay, here it goes. A Pandaren monk walks into a cave and starts fighting gorillas. The leader of the gorillas says, "Hey, why are you doing that?" So then the Pandaren monk says, "A goblin told me to." The gorilla leader says, "Do you do everything the goblins tell you to?" And the Pandaren monk says, "Yes, because I'm stupid and smelly and I walk on 2 legs." Pretty funny, huh? Maybe it needs some work. A few of our tribe have harnessed the power of thunder. We use it to defend ourselves against invader, human, orc, or dinosaur. Our thunder stuns all dinosaurs, you know. Chrono Trigger for life. That's all I got to say on that one. I need to go get the other one. Seriously, it is a little bit creepy how the player character just goes along with whatever in this game. It gets better later on, but oh my god, early on it's like, what are you doing? I want to go kill all these gorillas. Why? Well, a goblin told me to. I like how they recognize Nabla, by the way. The lashers to the south will eat small creatures like frogs and parrots. We, the gorillas, eat the lashers, and then the dinosaurs will eat the gorillas. All of this is honorable and natural. The humans and orcs also hunt the gorilla, but they take the skin. They leave the body to rot. This is why we attack the humans and the orcs. That should be all of them. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say. In terms of sheer lore, I'd probably put it at Pandaria, Northrend, Cata, and then I'm going to abstain from the rest of that. I want you to test your bite skill on the people of Marshall's Stand. Please try not to kill quest mobs like everyone else has been doing. Because that's why these quest mobs have been dead, by the way, because of this quest. So I'm going to try really hard not to kill these guys. There we go. It's not that hard. They were being dicks about it. Yeah, that should be 5. We're done. Seriously, Deutsch? Seriously? You have proven both wise and agile. You have my blessing to take your newfound knowledge and spread it in your journey. See you around, Nabla. And that, as they say, is that. But now we must do something horrific. I don't know how to play Malik.
All I can do is take out my petty revenge on people I don't know and never will, and total strangers will be upset slightly and annoyed in their progress of trying to enjoy their lives because I decided to be petty.
There you go. There's Malik for you guys. Kazika, that's why I didn't want to answer that one. Honestly, I'm going to be honest, even though it's going to make people yell at me and hate me. But I'm going to be honest. I think BC is worse lore-wise than Warlords. Warlords had some ridiculously huge plot holes in its story. And the fact that it was literally intended to be a completely separate story that was then twisted into a new story and then twisted back to the original story doesn't help things. But there is a wealth of lore in Warlords. We learned so much about Draenor, about the Arakoa, about the Gorian Empire and the ogres in general, about the Breakers and the Primals and the nature of how that planet worked. There is a huge wealth of lore in that expansion. So, hate me if you must, but I think BC is the worst expansion of WoW in terms of lore. And then I am devoured whole by every single one of my fans and viewers. Hang on just a second. The add-on people just got back to me. Where am I? Ah! Ah! Now, I mean, BC was way better than vanilla. God, it was a breath of fresh air after vanilla. Am I? Yeah, I think I am. I think. Yeah. And I do enjoy several aspects of BC, but... yeah. So, who here wants to talk about the best questing zone in the history of the known universe? With a whopping 19 quests in the zone that are not dailies or weeklies or repeatables. 19 quests. 19. Isn't that great? So as I mentioned, this zone used to be basically empty. Non-itemized, non-anything. Patch 1.8 is the patch where it really came into its own. Excuse me. Okay. But yeah, patch 1.3 was the first time they did anything with this place. They revamped it quite a bit, so welcome to Silithus. We will not be doing quests here. We have stuff to talk about, but the quests here are completely inconsequential. Really, there is no reason to do them. So, remember how we talked about how Dustwallow wasn't really changed by Cata? And remember how we talked about Teldrassil wasn't really changed by Cata? Remember how we've talked about how Dun Morog and Anvilmar haven't really been changed by Cata? This zone literally has had exactly one change to it from Cata. If you want to pull it technically, it's had two. The technically is in the fact that they changed it like they changed every zone in the entire game by making it so you can fly around, filling in the gaps in the world map, basically. But there's only one functional change. This is exactly as it was back in Wrath, BC, and Vanilla, all the way since patch 1.8. Now, this is a brilliantly atmospheric zone, which has a great aesthetic. When I first saw that thing right in front of us, my first thoughts were, again, as I discussed earlier, oh my god, it's the Zerg. And I wasn't, as I said, I wasn't the only one. I was me and Pax, and I want to say Eric was here too. There were several of us. And we all made the trip out here at like level 30. And we're like, oh my god, it's the freaking Zerg. It's the freaking Zerg. The Zerg are on Azeroth. Now, again, obviously, that has basically since been disproven. But there was this sense of wonder of looking about this zone and just how horrible it really was. You see these crystals? See these wonderful things? These are resonance crystals that resonate with the elements. The Twilight's hammer has been, shall we say, digging them up ever since they started operating in the area.
How may I aid you?
I'm just gonna do that. Seriously, the quests here are so inconsequential. Go kill drudges, go kill worms, go kill Twilight's hammer, go learn how to do the summonings, is basically the quest here. There's like nothing else quest-wise. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch it around a little bit. Just a little bit. So, Silithus is obviously where the Silithid have been gathered ever since they were originally dragged there and mutated by Cthulhu. The Silithid have basically been the pawns of Cthulhu in particular ever since. Debatably pawns of the old gods as a whole. We're not sure of some actual details. In fact, some of the timeline things don't add up from how we know them now. I expect we will learn more specific details about the Silithid and how they line up when the Warcraft Chronicles book comes out, and we read it live on stream next Wednesday, because that's what you guys voted for. So the Silithid were here, and during the War of the Shifting Sands, this occurred quite a long time ago, they erupted from here. You know how I've always talked over on my StarCraft Loreruns and my StarCraft discussions, how in lore the swarm really is a swarm. Millions, if not billions, of Zerg just rolling over the enemy like a massive tidal wave of death and destruction. That's the swarm in lore. We don't really see that on camera because it's hard to render 10 million units simultaneously, right? Well, that's kind of what happened in lore at the War of the Shifting Sands. The Silithid spill out from this area and just swarmed everything. And remember, the Silithid are strong and durable and very devastating to the nearby terrain. The only area that was left untouched by their initial advance was Unguro. And that's because of the Titan protection. So here, I wanted to give you a shot from the air, which is why we're getting over here on this character. Give you a little bit of better shot of a few things here. That used to be a Night Elf town. We'll get there in just a second. So the Silithid, after they just crushed everything in the back. I mean, look at this. This is a full-on hive. We never actually go inside one of these. You can see there are many different kind of worker Silithid too, in addition to the ones that we already know about. And as you can see, by the way, right now, look at all the elemental crystals all around. Look at how many resonant crystals there are, just strewn across the land. Notice the land itself is completely dead. This is exactly what happens anytime the Silithid, for lack of a better term, terraform an area to be more acclimated to their environment, to their needs biologically. Nothing else survives around the Silithid other than certain other types of insects and whatnot. That's a good point, Zawan. Since Silithid can literally fly and can carry other troops, the Silithids might have continued their invasion into Tanarus by literally going over Unguro. I didn't even realize that. Anywho, so yes, this right here used to be a Night Elf town. You see those? Down there. These are, spirits. Type 2 natural undead. These are druids and sentinels who fought in the War of the Shifting Sands a bagrillion years ago. They're very dead, and because of the nature of how their land has been completely despoiled by Silithid, and as you can see, there's literally hives in the town, they haven't been resting easy. Probably the most horrible example of this is, in my opinion, right here, where they literally have these nests just built into the tower, and it's, well, it's pretty gross. And yes, this area should have been a lush, it was a lush area back before the War of the Shifting Sands. Faralos spilled out, Faralos right here spilled out into Silithus, along with Unguro kind of stretching out into it a little bit. So this place was similar to the jungle stylings of both of those zones. I'm not willing to state this 100%, but I'm pretty sure there is not a single living plant in this entire zone, because that's what the Silithid do. They completely destroy the ability for any other species to exist within their territory. Plant, animal, insect, doesn't matter. And they do that as a way to assert their own dominance, to ensure no competition from a survival perspective. I'm going to show this one off just for you, Deutsch. This is the largest Silithid hive we ever see in one cohesive chunk. That one over there is kind of big, but no, Hive Zora is gargantuan. Look at this thing. Like, I don't even know if I'm getting across the idea of this city-sized hive appropriately enough to you. As I've mentioned before, but for those of you who didn't catch it last time, Silithid hives are literally alive. Another similarity between them and the Zerg. So, the reason the tentacles there are twitching is because they are living things. They're actually living, functional things. I don't know what else to call it. Animals, I suppose. So yeah, that's basically one massive organism that we're looking at here, that they live within and in a form of symbiosis with. Now, a very valid question is, what do the Silithid eat? The answer is, I have no idea. Truth be told, I genuinely don't know how the Silithid continue to function. I can speculate, but the fact that they have literally completely destroy all other forms of life wherever they live, and yet still thrive, there's got to be something that's feeding them. It is possible they feed directly off of magic. The Silithid were actually found at the Well of Eternity originally, living off of the energies coming off of the well. So it is possible that all Silithid can still be fed and literally derive physical sustenance from magic. And it would not be overly hard for these Silithid to gain that kind of power, as long as they either A, had a natural way to access a ley line, or B, had an old god pumping power into them. That's all speculation, though. I don't know. As I originally said, God, my shoulder hurts. Over here, I want to show off this. This is actually one of those resonance stones once it's actually been lifted out of the ground. You can see quite a few around here, actually. So like I said, these are resonance stones. These act as a reverberatory for elemental energies. So these can be used to augment or enhance, or weaken, actually, elementals. Excuse me. Cafe Wombat, sorry, I missed your comment earlier. First of all, hi, welcome to my stream. Second of all, you can find just about all my stuff. Yeah, thank you, Bragwin, for linking that. You can find all my stuff there. So the Twilight cults use these things to enhance their ability to access and manipulate the elementals and to bind them to their will. Because again, remember, for the most part, the Twilight's Hammer don't actually work in conjunction with the elementals. They work, they use them like slaves, basically, or worse in some cases. So I talked about the War of the Shifting Sands. There's one other little niggle. So as I mentioned, the War of the Shifting Sands was when the Silithid and the Akir poured out of there, right there. That's Ahn'Qiraj, the great city of Cthulhu. It's actually quite large. I'll give you a bit of an aerial view here. We've actually already done these raids on camera, so we're not actually going to do this again. I'm not sure, Norlix, legitimately. So, this is pretty much all of the ruins of Ahn'Qiraj, Rak, or AQ-20 if you prefer, that we're flying over right now. I am impressed by how overall large this city actually is, even by, you know, Warcraft standards. This is huge. And as you can see, they make extensive use of the obsidian technology that became a hallmark of several other creatures, including the Nerubians and, of course, the Scourge, who borrowed it from them. The Silithid and the Akir more or less coordinate together, but the Silithid, for the most part, are simply the servitor race of the Akir, and the Akir, of course, serve Cthulhu, specifically. And you can see a little bit more of it off here at the outer edges. Now, the Scarab wall was not literally just a wall. It was a tremendously powerful magical barrier that kept them concealed within here for an exceptionally long period of time, during which they didn't really build up their forces because they couldn't. Like, they literally ran out of room. But they were trying to bring Cthulhu back so that he could actually wash over the world. Death, death, destruction. Usual stuff, right? Cthulhu was in there. That's actually the Temple of Cthulhu right there. That orb-looking scarab, beetle, jewel case, I don't know what to call it, thing. That's the Temple of Cthulhu, and that's where he actually was. As I've said before, we don't know if we've actually killed the old gods, weakened them, or killed their avatars, or something else I can't even predict. I've already mentioned that several times when it comes to both Cthulhu and Yogg-Saron. The only old god we know for 100% certainty is absolutely, no, really gone, is Yasharaj at this point. So, so this magical barrier kept them sealed in. But you might be thinking, well, how the heck did the Night Elves manage a barrier of that potency? Well, they didn't. All the dragon flights did. Here's the funny thing. So the Night Elves came down here in their arrogance, and they were like, oh, we will defeat these bugs. Because bugs are beneath them, right? And they lost, and they lost, and they lost. And so after just completely getting destroyed militarily, they literally begged the nearby dragons, and by nearby, I mean over here in Tanarus, they begged the Bronze Dragonflight, please, please come help us. And the Bronze Dragonflight said, no, we have no interest in helping you. Why would we help you? That's silly. Go away. Fortunately or unfortunately, the Silithid then were spreading eastward, as I mentioned. They managed to attack pretty much this entire region around here, and actually directly attacked the Caverns of Time, because the Silithid were trying to kill the Bronze Dragons. And the Bronze Dragons were, for some reason, upset about being attacked by the Silithid. So, the Bronze Dragonflight flung themselves into the war, full tilt, assisted in the War of the Shifting Sands against the Silithid. It wasn't enough. So the Bronze Dragonflight sent out envoys and triggered the Accord and was like, red flight, black flight, every other flight, we need your help. And all of the flights came here. I'm not sure if actually all the flights, but pretty much all the flights came here. All but one, at the very least, of the flights came here to assist in the War of the Shifting Sands. The best part is they were losing. All the dragon flights and the might of the ancient Night Elf Empire were losing to the Silithid and the Karaji. Think about that for a minute. So in the wake of that devastation, the Dragonflights and the Night Elves basically combined their efforts to create this Scepter of the Shifting Sands, which was going to be the key nexus point for a very powerful magical barrier, which would prevent the Silithid from leaving. And they contained the Silithid within Ankh-Kiraj, created the Scarab Wall. The funny thing is there were still Silithid out and about from beyond it, but they were much, much easier to be dealt with once the source was cut off. Now, the funny thing is, this will be relevant later, much later actually, but Fandral Staghelm was there, and I'll talk more about his role on that later. But Fandral was given the scepter, the actual nexus point of the thing, and he snapped it. Broke it into pieces. Didn't break its enchantment, it still worked. But he broke it into pieces and just kind of tossed it aside and said, this is meaningless to me. And the Bronze Dragonflight is like, what the hell are you doing? Are you casting aside this? Are you trying to make war with us? And Fandral said, no, I just don't give a damn. My son is dead, and I'm sick of this place. Goodbye. It is kind of worth noting that Fandral called that on himself. He was an incredibly arrogant night elf. Incredibly. He had absolute, total belief in his own superiority, and the superiority of the night elves in general. He marched down here to Silithus thinking there is no way they could lose, and then his boy was murdered in front of him. He never actually recovered from that, ever. He still, like, you know what I mean. So that is the War of the Shifting Sands in brief. The only other thing to share about here is a couple more gameplay-related things. Wait, who? Oh, you're talking about this guy over here. This moron. Oh, wow, 8 years. Congrats, Jenkies. Give him a happy birthday for me. Excuse me. So, the Twilight's Hammer here, obviously, because they serve the old gods, and Cthulhu is here, QED. But the Twilight's Hammer, basically, they came here to stir the pot, and when they did so, they made it so that they could bypass the rules slightly. Some people have asked, why after so many years is it in now, and by now I mean in patch 1.8 in vanilla, why then is that when the Karaji finally started re-emerging? Why is that when Cthulhu finally started doing things again? And the answer is because the Twilight's Hammer came over here and were like, yep, stir in the pot, raised all these elemental crystals out of the ground, channeled the elemental energies through the area, basically started reaching Cthulhu's influence out of the barrier. And given enough time, they would eventually been able to free him. So, as the choice tends to be, our options were wait it out and die, or try to stop the Twilights from reaching him, get in ourselves, and take out the problem at the source. Now, the good news is that the Silithids and the Karaji didn't actually have a real army built up yet, not the way they used to. So we were able to actually, basically assassinate Cthulhu and most of the upper leadership of the Karaji. Fun fact, as I mentioned before, this zone is the least changed zone from Cataclysm, right? The least. There's one change to this zone. It has been speculated and mentioned by a blue that the reason this place was untouched after Cata was because the Cthulhu was actually gone. And so the idea was that with Cthulhu genuinely being gone, in whatever definition you use gone for there, there would be no reason to touch up this zone. That's kind of a flimsy answer. It's probably more likely that this is one of the zones that was chopped off the block as a result of them really running out of time towards the end there. Where is it? Is it up here? I'm not even sure where it is. There's, like I said, there's one change here, and I'm not sure where it is. I gotta go looking for it. There it is. You see that portal in there? And that portal? This is great. Just check this out. Check this out.
Thrall.
Maybe you should stop being here and go to the Blasted Lands. This is the one change in Cataclysm. This guy in the portal. Our venerable war matron, Okrilla, has sent me to the far reaches of the world in search of suitable heroes that would join our cause.
Be safe.
In other words, if you happen to be a player who is leveling in Kalimdor and finished Ungura and came to Silithus, there's a quest MP that says, no, you shouldn't be in Silithus. Go somewhere else. And so you can go and you can go and do Blasted Lands instead. That's the one change from Cata. That right there. That's it. Anywho. So the way this used to work, and this used to be so tedious, you would go kill Twilight's Hammer cultists. There's lots of them. And they would randomly, yeah, those guys down there, the Twilight Avengers and the Geolords, all those guys, they would kill them all. And they would randomly drop, I believe it's helmet, shoulders, robe. I'm pretty sure that's what they would drop. And you would be able to use that to summon an elite, which would drop an item, which you could kill 2 more to drop an item, to kill 3 more to drop an item, to summon a raid boss and kill that and get some loot out of it. They also had this new mechanic where you would get Silithus and try to empower your side, which was this pseudo-world PvP thing that died almost the moment it was implemented. All of this was about the 1.8 patch, which was the opening of the gates of Ahn'Qiraj. Now, I've actually already talked about how much of a disaster that overall situation was. But, again, the lore of it was actually very interesting to me, because the whole point was the Qiraji and Cthulhu and the Silithid within Ahn'Qiraj had just been sitting there this whole time. Just hanging out like, yep, nothing we can do. And not even really doing anything, other than the fact that they were trying to release Cthulhu. Yes, this was a vanilla zone lead feed. Patch 1.8 is when this was overdone. And yes, this is the first time Malfurion actually showed up. And yes, AQ40 is right up here. TAQ. It's right up there. So they were just in there hanging out, doing nothing. And the Twilight's hammer was threatening to really screw everything up. We had to go in there before they were ready for us, basically. Before they could really get an army going. And we did. And we successfully went in, and who knows what we did with Cthulhu. Again, we don't know. I know I hate to keep saying that, but it's true. We don't actually know what ended up happening there. With that threat dead, this was basically the end of Kalimdor's storyline in all of Vanilla, and indeed in most of the Cata stuff we've been doing. Unfortunately, that's all I got for today. Because I have been so tired today, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it off early for the night. I'll be back tomorrow morning, of course, like I always am. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead and hit up Felwood, and with luck, we will go ahead and do Winterspring tomorrow as well. And we'll go ahead and discuss how Felwood has been completely destroyed, even after years and years after Warcraft 3, and how Winterspring is a great tragedy. So, I will see you guys tomorrow.